Hello everyone, I'm Anthony Polidano and welcome to Inside Michigan Baseball. The Wolverines are red hot as they're riding a 6-game winning streak and sit at 4-2 in the Big Ten heading into their weekend home series against Penn State. Last weekend, the Wolverines beat the Spartans 3 times in 3 days. On Friday, Trent Skutnik won for the second time in his career at Cobb's Field and got help from the return of captain Patrick Biondi to the starting lineup. Freshman Travis Mazes had 3 hits, scored 3 times, and drove in 3 runs in the 6-3 Michigan win. On Saturday, freshman Evan Hill continued the stellar start to his career, going 8 strong innings in front of the home crowd, allowing just an unearned run on 4 hits, while striking out 4 in the 5-1 Wolverine win. Sunday, the Maize and Blue earned their first Big Ten Series sweep since 2008 with a 6-2 win. Logan McAnallen was solid on the hill, and Zach Zott hit his first career home run for U of M. On Tuesday, the Wolverines' run continued as they upset 18th-ranked Notre Dame in South Bend 4-1. James Burke and Matt Ogden combined on a 6-hitter for the Maize and Blue as the Wolverine pitching staff held their opponents to 3 runs or less for a 9th consecutive game. Catcher Cole Martin was 2 for 3 in that contest, and he's been red hot as of late. A full-time starter for the first time in his career, the junior is finally starting to find his stride. Martin's first 2 years in a Michigan uniform weren't all that productive. He was just 34 for 165 in his first 2 seasons, with only 1 extra base hit to go with a paltry .206 batting average. Defense was also a struggle as opponents ran wild against him, making good on over 80% of their stolen base attempts. As a backstop, Martin knew that when he won the job outright this year, his first priority had to be defense.
The defensive side of it is everything. I mean, if you don't have a good catcher, it's really hard to win, and especially if they're not consistent back there. And all of our catchers really take pride in our defense. And I mean, Coach even told us at the beginning, he said defense is going to play. It doesn't matter how you hit. And even in my case, I went through a little bit of a rough patch, and that definitely held true.
He's emerged as one of the top in the conference at controlling the running game, having thrown out over half of would-be base stealers this year.
That's a huge difference, huge boost in confidence for a pitcher, knowing that you don't have to really worry about that run game, and if they take off, Cole's arm has them, and that's been a huge help for us this year.
Having a new look even from my catching coach, Etch, really helped footwork and all that, and just remain consistent. And I think the biggest thing was just remain consistent on every throw, and then that just, obviously if throws are more consistent, we're going to throw more guys out.
He's also improved as a receiver and takes pride in his part of the pitching staff's remarkable run-and-a-half improvement over a year ago.
Well, as a catcher, he just knows what to throw or what to have us throw and when to throw it. Great receiver. If you're ahead in the count and you want to throw a breaking ball in the dirt, you have the confidence in him that he's going to knock that ball down and nobody's going to advance.
We're basically the only 2 on the field that get to touch the ball every single play. And it really makes me proud to be able to go out there every day and go out there in the 9th inning and, give those guys a hug and just say, that was a great job out there today.
Martin's defensive prowess and confidence has finally begun to carry over to his hitting. An anemic 8 for 69 in his first 23 games this season, the junior is currently on a tear, going 12 for 26 with 5 doubles and his first career home run in his last 8 games.
It's helped that a lot of balls are starting to fall and really starting to see the ball well, confident up there, and just kind of turn the swing loose and being able to see good pitches, hit good pitches, not swinging at pitches, which has really helped. And I mean, I know it's been in me the whole time. It's just whether or not it's been out, being able to be shown on the field, and it's really nice to be able to finally be successful and be successful more on paper than it would be just sitting there watching the game.
The Maize and Blue are 7-1 in Martin's 8-game hitting rampage, which has seen him hit .461 and double his extra base hits for his entire career.
At the beginning of the season, I had so many atom balls that it was getting so frustrating to the point where I was just laughing. I mean, and then I started trying a little bit too hard and, just kind of pulled the reins back a little bit and just, focused on quality at bat every time I go up there, and that's really helped me.
That's all well and good, but Martin just wants to keep winning and play meaningful games in May and beyond for the first time in his career at Michigan.
That's really exciting. I mean, it's really awesome to be able to play meaningful games the later we get into this Big Ten season, and really kind of sit in those top 6 teams and set ourselves up for a postseason run. And it excites me as well. It's just the rest of our guys are just stepping up, and it's going to be fun. The more and more we begin to win, it's going to actually really allow us to kind of let it all hang out, I guess, and enjoy the run.
All right, joined now by head coach of the Wolverines, Eric Bakich. Coach, kind of talk about Cole Martin, how he's come along, first defensively, and then his recent offensive surge that's certainly helped you guys out on the run you're on.
Yep, defensively, he's been very consistent all year. He, if you'd have told me before the year started that he was going to throw out over 50% of the runners at this point, I don't know if I would have believed you. He's just made leaps and bounds from the fall to now with his ability to receive, with his ability to block the ball, and his ability to catch and throw. And it's been a huge momentum builder for us. It gets our offense going when we can, throw out a base stealer for the third out of the inning on defense and then come in and hit with a lot of energy. And so he's been great. He's been very consistent defensively. Offensively, even though his batting average is what he would want it to be, or statistically not great, he actually has had a lot of quality at bats. He's been a victim of a guy who lines out a lot this year, and there's always that guy every year, and he's been that guy this year. But recently they've started to fall. He's raised his average, 50 or 60 points in the last couple of weeks, and those balls that used to get caught are now starting to fall in for doubles and base hits. And so credit to him. He's stuck with it. He hasn't gotten frustrated, and he's just been a consistent leader behind the plate, and now the offense is starting to catch up.
As part of the battery, your pitching staff this year, I think you're on a streak right now, 14 straight games, 3 runs or less out of your starters. Talk about what a bonus that's been and how key that's been to your guys' success you've had lately.
Well, first, knock on some wood. And, yeah, they've been very consistent. They've done a great job. And, we talk about all the time a broken record, and Coach Kenny is a broken record of quick tempo and forced contact. We've got great athletes out there defensively. Let those guys make plays. And our pitchers have done a great job of buying in, and Coach Kenny, our pitching coach, has done a great job of just implementing that philosophy of work fast, throw strikes, force contact, and the guys have done a great job with it. And we might not have a 95-mile-an-hour flamethrower on our staff, but we got a bunch of guys that fill the zone up, and they work fast, and it helps our defense stay in the game and make plays.
Evan Hill, 3-time Freshman of the Week, 5-1, sub-2 ERA. Talk about what he's been able to do coming right out of the gates as a freshman.
Yeah, it's uncommon for a freshman to step in like that, especially with consistency, and he's been very consistent. He's got some poise and some maturity that are beyond what you would think of in a freshman. But he's a guy from a mental game standpoint who has, like Cole, who's made leaps and bounds. He's made leaps and bounds with his mental game and being able to slow the game down and just focus on each pitch and making quality pitches. And he's done a great job of that. The scary thing about Evan is, he's only had a couple of times where he's had his secondary stuff really working for him. And he's mostly been out there pitching off of his fastball. And to be able to go as deep as he's gone and had the success he's had with just primarily one pitch is good for us and good for him as he continues to develop into a premium prospect and a great pitcher in this conference once he starts consistently using his full arsenal of curveball and cutter and changeup. But he's going to be special, and he's off to a great start, and we need him to continue to do that.
Talk about the confidence level of the team right now and the opportunity in front of you this weekend with Penn State coming into town. I know you're a few games behind, a series behind some of the other teams in the Big Ten in terms of games played, but the opportunity in front of you this weekend.
Yeah, the approach is the same. It's the same as it was against Michigan State. It's one game, one inning, one pitch at a time. We're just going to compete our butts off to win pitches every single inning. And these guys play with a lot of enthusiasm. They play with a lot of energy. They play the game the right way, and they're fun to watch. Our group is a special group. We've got good leadership. Getting Pat Biondi back in the lineup was a huge confidence boost to our team. Having a consistent weekend rotation is a huge boost to our team. And then the X factor is everybody's pulling together with Ben Ballantyne's injury, and that's really unified this group even closer than what it was, and just rallying around Ben's injury and just making sure that every single one of our seniors has a terrific year, and Team 147 goes out as champions, and this is another step in that process this weekend.
Good luck this week, Coach.
Thanks.
The Wolverines' Friday and Saturday games are scheduled for 4:05 starts against the Nittany Lions. Their Sunday game is a noon start and will be televised live on the Big Ten Network. That does it for this edition of Inside Michigan Baseball. I'm Anthony Polidano. We hope to see you out here this weekend.